Pastures and barns filled with sheep, fields filled with growing sorghum. This is what farming's all about, man. I mean, just look at these guys right here. Welcome back to Broke to Billionaire. It is June of year 6, 8:28 in the morning, and it's time to harvest, man. With it being June, you can see right here our grass is looking just beautiful, ready to harvest, golden, yellow, green. We have 3 fields of grass that need to be mowed today, need to be collected, turned into that beautiful silage we got going. So we are getting that mowing started. Got a few things to do around the farm as per usual. Well, the bank account once again is not looking so good up there in terms of $1 billion. The amount of assets we have and the amount of money that we can make in a year is looking better than ever. Last episode, we were able to get that Kinsey Blue Drive planter right there. That one is an awesome one, as well as expand into sheep right over here. I was visiting these little guys in the morning, but they're looking good. I mean, they're already making wool for me. You can see it right there. Look at the pallets. Look at the ding ding at the top of my screen from auto drive. Good times, good times. So once we have a bit more wool coming in from those guys, I'll definitely be looking into getting the spinnery. That's a production chain I've always been very interested in, so I'm looking forward to that. For the time being, they're not producing quite enough to make it worth it, but we'll be there eventually. One thing's for certain, there is grass on the ground, and it needs to be picked up by this here forage wagon. So you can see we got this going already. We're collecting all that grass. Now, one thing I was actually thinking of doing, and I might even just move over soon, is getting a baler and just baling up a bunch of this grass to feed those sheep over there. Might not be something I do this harvest, but in the future I'll definitely be looking into it. One of the reasons I'm hesitating on doing that is we actually have a contract for baling that's going to be getting us a few extra bales. That would be this guy right here. It's a hay contract. I think we're going to end up with a good at least 3 or 4 extra bales, and I'll probably just keep those. Stick them into the sheep pen there so that they can eat, and it's something I don't have to worry about for a while. It's nice to just have that kind of set it and forget it mentality with the sheep. So all we really need to do is maybe fill up their feed like once a year with these bales, and then just collect the cotton as it fully fills up each time. Ship it off to the spinnery once we have it, and it's good to go, man. So something somebody actually suggested to me in the comments was getting one of these supplementary water tanks for our greenhouse, and I think that's just a great idea. I totally forgot these things even existed, so I think I'll be adding one of those immediately. Not sure why it has to put down cement right where I place it, but, you know, oh well. We actually finished up our contract here, so I'll probably just have this guy grab those bales and he can just start directly bringing them to our farm instead of coming here to sell them. Also, I guess while we're here, I should probably just grab that one I left behind, huh? So from here on out, all of those bales are going to us, and I think there was a decent amount of them left. Okay, we got that guy. Gonna drive through this way so I don't accidentally sell it, although I'm pretty sure I have to like actually offload it. All right, first grass field fully mowed. We'll just keep this train rolling here, man. So we just have 2 more fields to mow. Neither of them are particularly big, so it should be a quick little month here. July will also be an exciting month for us. It actually starts our first oat harvest that we've ever done, so that'll be very cool. And I think sorghum comes in another month or 2 after that, so don't need to wait too long for either of those. It'll be very fun to get the oat train flowing, because that's right when we're going to start our first production chain in grains to the flour mill. It's not like the absolute highest yielding production chain in the world, but it's pretty good. It's pretty easy. We have all the tools for it. I think it's going to work out great for us. All right, this guy is back to baling. All of these bales are just going to go right to our farm. I might actually just dump these straight into the sheep enclosure, so I just don't even have to worry about it, man. The other thing is I did see a pretty nice harvesting contract. I might just get our harvester going on this. It's going to go very quick. It's also barley, so it will be dropping some straw for us. Now, I've tried to gather up straw with the forage wagon from contracts before, but the last time I tried to do it, we had already pretty much completed the contract and it wasn't letting us do it. So I'll see if that changes this time around, but might as well give it a whirl. I have a feeling it still might have some issues, but you never know. So because we're going to be using our own equipment here, I'm going to need this trailer, and I'll probably just get the Massey Ferguson helping out our harvester there. Now, with how far away that harvest is, because it's on field 25, which is at like the other end of Elm Creek, and we do not have a header trailer for that bad boy, so that might just be something I gotta drive myself if I don't want to buy a header trailer, which I don't. Let's be real here, man. Drop our tiny amount of sorghum right back here into the silo. I mean, look at that. It barely even needed an animation for that, man. Looks like we have the rest of the bales, so we have a solid 8 bales there. I think that should last for like more than a year, so that's really nice. We'll get this guy up to our farm here and just get those offloaded to the sheepies. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and accept that and get it going. Should be an adventure, as always, to get our harvester over there. Always a fun time. Probably worth just buying a header trailer, but come on, man. It's way more fun trying to make it on our own. This harvester is going to be busy next month, harvesting up that oat growing in our fields over there. Looks like it's coming in real nicely. I'm very excited for that. This dude moving a little slow, but he's powerful. I can see the field over there already. This wasn't quite as bad of a drive as I was expecting, but then again, we got the final boss, the bridge to Terabithia. I guess it's just an overpass rather than a bridge, but what's the difference? What's the difference really between a bridge and an overpass, man? Oh, there's a car coming up. It was going so well. Oh, very smartly changes lanes. Very smartly, very astute choice there, sir. Looks like the trailer is already there. We'll just take out that sign real quick. It ain't driving a harvester through Elm Creek without taking out at least one sign, if not multiple signs. Alrighty, we got some bales here. I think I'm just gonna take them right over to the sheep, man. So you know what? It's probably going to be easier to move around with the bale fork, and they don't need them quite yet. I think I'll just drop them in our storage. Looks like we just finished up yet another field, so we just have one more field to mow. The mowing is always so fast. I guess it's kind of because we got some small fields, but they work pretty well, man. We got our bales offloading here, man. I do wonder if how this will work out. I haven't done this with square bales before. Oh, you know, look at that. All in storage. All right, I do believe we should be done with this guy. So I will get that contract all turned in. Look at that, 25K. Oh, baby. I think we get a little bit less because of the lead. We get 21K. Okay, whatever. Close enough. Look at that, $21,000. Ooh. And just like that, we are done mowing, man. Always a very easy process. You gotta love it. So just a bit more foraging. We'll go see if we can forage up that straw from the contract. If we can, might be a slightly longer month since I did see there's another harvest or two for barley specifically. So if we can gather the straw from that, we might as well, you know. Might as well be picking those up when we're able to. But mowing is just fast as ever, man. Nothing to complain about here with those. They work so good. So I just drove this guy all the way out here before realizing I still got grass back there, man. Well, we'll see what happens here, but I don't even know if I'm going to be able to use this. Let's test her out, shall we? Am I scooping it all here? I don't know if it's because I have grass back here or not. Let's try dumping the grass. I can always pick it back up. Oh, man. Okay, so I can't dump it here because I don't have access to this land, so I gotta send brother home to deliver and then right back. So we got to get these freshly cut grassy fields all fertilized as per usual. I am bringing back the grass container here to dump it in this before just immediately sending it back to that field. But yeah, busy as always. All right, take 2. Can this be baled up? I honestly don't know if I can pick it up with the forage wagon or not. We shall see. Out here doing science for the farmers. Farmer science. Agricultural studies, man. I always wondered what people were doing in the agricultural studies major at my college, and now I know they were out here seeing if you could forage wagon up some straw. Look at that. I am grabbing it. Okay, that's perfect. So I will get this guy going on this, and I'll probably end up doing at least one more harvest today. Because this is just this is free money right here. Why not? But yeah, mission successful. We're gonna be able to dump this into our fermentation tanks and make silage out of it. So this will be a big amount of money, extra money too, from this contract. No reason to leave all this precious straw behind, man. So I guess the other thing that we can do with that contract, beyond gathering up all the straw, of course, is actually holding on to the extra barley and not selling it right now. Kind of doing what we're doing with the square bales that we put in our storage unit there, and just holding on to it, using it to feed our chickens, or even just into the production chain. That's something we could get going sooner than later. Not a terrible idea to do. It's always funny seeing this little fertilizer spreader on the back of the tank tractor, because it's just this massive tractor with this tiny little fertilizer spreader. Oh, look who it is. It's our good buddy. He's delivering that straw into our fermenting silo over there, right over there next to the sheepies. So we actually have a new production to do here where we turn straw into silage, so we got to activate that, and bam, it's going. So all done with all of our fertilizing today. It's just some forage wagoning. We got to pick up that extra grass, probably deliver some of it to the sheepies over there, and then on top of that, we're doing a little bit of side contract action with that barley harvest, and we'll probably just grab that straw from those, put it into our fermenters, get that harvest income going, and call it good for the month. Get right into oat harvesting next month. Probably just fill this guy up with fertilizer, get him parked, get that harvest done, and catch up with you guys once it's over. All right, all done harvesting this field. You can see we are foraging things up, but just gonna get the rest of this over into the silo. We got one more harvest to do. We got another one of these contracts to do where we can gather up the straw from barley, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get that started as well. So doing our favorite thing of driving a combine right through the center of town. Everyone's favorite, man. Blocking up every single lane of traffic possible. I mean, look at this. I don't know what white car thinks he's doing, man. It is not gonna end well for him. It is just not gonna end well for nobody. We're gonna do some back alley driving here. Drive through a field of weeds. If I do more of these, I might just need to invest in a header trailer. I don't think they're too expensive, and this is getting a bit ridiculous, man. I gotta go up and over the tracks again too. Oh, but we did make it, so I can't complain too much. Alrighty, finally finishing up this field, grabbing the last of the straw there. Should bring us a decent amount of profit for not much extra work. Not bad, and it's a good little teaser of what we're gonna do later on this year with barley. Now we're offloading this guy, and I want to keep the extra barley. I don't want to sell it all, so I'm gonna be pressing the button back and forth here. We're just trying to fill this up all the way to 100%, but we want to save that extra barley. So it looks like we still need to deliver about 15,000 liters, so we'll get just under 10. I'll stop it at around 10 and see where we're at. So yeah, 96%. Just need another 2,000 liters, so we'll stop this around 8. Look at that, all done with that guy. So we will collect on that, and we have a bit of extra barley here. With us harvesting that oat next month, we're gonna want to get to processing at the grain mill pretty much as soon as possible. Now in here we have a good 8,000 liters of barley, which isn't anything crazy, but we have another harvest going right now and we'll have a bit more. But I was thinking it might just be time to get the grain mill bought, man. That does cost $96,000, so obviously not gonna be super cheap here, but hey man, I think it's time to get our first production going. Let's do this thing. Oh, and look at that, grain mill bought, man. It's time. You can see right here, it just makes all the different grains right into flour. So we're gonna be putting some barley in here so I can go ahead and activate it, or I guess it already is activated. So I think right now I'm going to set it to distribute, because we're probably gonna want to send most of that right to the bakery, and I want to avoid coming up here if possible. So what we'll do here is we'll just take this barley extra left over from a contract and just dump it right here. It's only 8,000 liters, but hey, it gives it something to work with. So as you can see, we got a good 8,000 liters of barley, and we've already started making our very first flour. So very, very exciting stuff. And I will be bringing more of that later as well once we're done with this secondary contract, and obviously a lot more of it next month with all that oat that we're going to be harvesting. All of that is going to be brought up here. So we will be making a ton of flour before we know it, and then eventually we're straight into bread, man. You can see we got the boys out here working on yet another field. Just gonna do the same thing, gather up all this straw, take it on over to the silo there. Meanwhile, we deliver the barley that we owe for the contract and just take the extra with us out to be made into flour. Now there is something, I guess, a little cheesy you could do, but I don't know, it feels a little cheesy where you just oh man, did you see that collision up there? High speed collision, man. These dudes are not happy with each other right now. Oh man. That was pretty awesome. Sometimes the AI just get a little mad at each other, I guess. Just slammed right into them, man. But yeah, one thing you could technically do with contracts is just pick them up, harvest them, and instead of taking all of their product to where they say it should go, you just take it to your production. Kind of like the grain mill over there, which I don't know. It's basically just like stealing product from the AI, but I guess it's no worse than field flipping, which is probably something I should just be utilizing. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how dirty I get my hands on the way to $1 billion. But you can see, look at these three out here. We got the boys working today. So I'll check in with you guys when we're closer to the end of the harvest. So we are done with this field, at least with harvesting. Still got a bit to deliver and still a bit to forage. And I actually ran into a bit of a unique problem about halfway through foraging up this other field. I took a look at the production tab and noticed this guy. Now this is pretty much completely full on the secondary silo that we have going on that can process straw. The original one can't. It can only do grass, hay, and chaff. But this one can do straw. So it is completely filled right now. This will go up to 500K. I am not going to complete this contract right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to forage up all the grass from my fields, get that all done, which there's only like one field left at this point. Once I'm done with that, I will collect the rest of this and probably just have it sit in the forage wagon and offload into that silo just as it processes in the next few months. So I'll just kind of use the forage wagon as a little bit of extra storage is the general idea. It holds a solid like 50,000 liters or so. That's not horrible or anything. Figure might as well get the extra silage out of that while we have it. It's really not that hard to do. It just takes another run with the forage wagon before turning it all in. So we are nearly done there for the day. An unexpectedly long June, but pretty exciting discovery and pretty exciting to run into that sign. Obviously very exciting for that. No, but very exciting to get that production chain flowing. My first official one, if you don't consider silage or animals, which I guess are both, very similar to production chains, but this is like the first formal built into the game. I actually bought a factory for the sole purpose of doing these production chains, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about being able to run that, and I'm really excited to be able to just stuff it full of oat next month. I don't know if I'm gonna go like all in on grain as I said in the past, but it'll definitely be a mainstay, at least for the time being. I think I'll have at least one field dedicated to it at all times, if not 2 or 3, just to kind of try to maximize our gains out of that building. At the very least, I think having a barley field makes a ton of sense, maybe a wheat field as well, and then maybe some sort of oat or sorghum rotation as well. We will just have to see, but it's very nice to have the tools to do all of that. Don't need to worry about really leasing anything out. The only thing thing I can lease out in order to help things is the roller, and I don't know if rolling actually adds enough of a gain to be doing it on all of our fields, just because it's kind of expensive to lease out, and we obviously don't own one yet, all for 3% gains. But yeah, I'll get the last of this delivered. We'll wait to turn it in until we just grab the little extra here left on the field. Just trying to maximize our gains a little bit, especially since I did spend, you know, a good $96,000 this month on production chains. But we don't need to tell nobody, now do we? All right, so just finishing up the last field of grass here. I think what I'm gonna do with this is, since this is the very last of our grass, I'll be dropping some of this off for the sheep, and then the rest will go right into the silo, and that will be good to go for today. Got these all fertilized earlier today when I was still working on those contracts. You can see my sheep and my silo right through that little gap there. Both so pretty, both so good at processing this grass. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna want to get more sheep like very soon, probably after we get our payday at the end of the year. But we can take our grass here, plop it down for them sheepies. If I can drop it there. No, I think it has to be a little more central. Still getting the hang of this. This is my very first time farming sheep. It's just been a couple months since I filled this up, so I'm curious as to what they're looking like here. So they still have almost half their food. That's pretty nice. So we'll just top it up there, and look at that, 11,000 liters is pretty nice. So what I'm gonna do now is drop the rest of this grass off to be made into silage into our home silo there, and then I'm gonna buzz over and pick up the rest of the straw from that contract earlier. I think there might be more than I can hold in this one trailer, so I'll probably just pick up what I can and then just leave it outside that other silo to be dropped off in there whenever there's space. We might end up having to sell a little bit of that silage early, and that's something I'll probably need to look into long term, is just silo capacity. It would be nice to expand that out. I can upgrade that silo, and that's something maybe I'll do later on. We will have to see. I'm loving how this sorghum is looking, growing on my left. I'm loving our little pen of sheep there. What a farm. What a farm I have built up over the course of this challenge. It's been really cool. Really cool seeing it all grow up. Put lots of money into it, but it's been well worth it. And this dude right here, ready to sell as soon as I'm done grabbing up all this straw. And I will be taking the excess barley up to the grain mill as well. We'll definitely keep that train rolling, producing that flour. So I don't have too much left on this field to grab straw-wise, but we'll see what we can do. See what we can grab. I'll just fill this up to capacity and call it good. You can see we filled up. There's probably another like trailer's worth here, so now I suppose I could just go sell this. Is it even worth selling? The $1 million question. I think I'm probably just gonna take this guy and call it good on this contract. I could technically grab the rest of this and go sell it, but it's really only gonna get me like a couple $100, maybe a couple thousand if that. So I think I'll just call it good. This contract's taken long enough as is. So we will deliver the rest of this barley and save what is ours. And look at that, another 10,000 in our pocket, or I guess 6,000. Oh, that's including the product here. So this is worth a good 3 or 4 grand. I'm gonna take this up so we can get it processing into flour. You can see this guy is full of straw. So I'll probably just leave the forage wagon there. That should process through all of that straw that's already in there, make it into silage before we end up needing the forage wagon again. So we will come back for that, let it chunk through, let it do its thing. So just our second delivery here up to the grain mill. And I just love this part of Elm Creek, man. I mean, that farm is so cool. That's a full plot right there. I mean, you can see a lot of it's tilled soil already, but that's a really cool one. I think there's even there's like a corn maze up there, and that tower over top of it. Really cool. You got your waterfalls, just so pretty. They got me seeing all the new sites up here. Would be great to get this field right here, but this plot is just ridiculously big. So I don't know about that. Almost 600K for that thing. So delivering this here barley. Hold it on forward. And we're chunking away at this stuff, man. More barley into flour incoming right here. Look at that. All right. So just like that, we are done for the month. It's everything I wanted to get done, and we will just get to harvesting that oat and everything else tomorrow, man. It is 5 a.m. in July of year 6, and we have some very exciting stuff to do today, man. You can see we got oat in these 2 fields, and it is beautiful and ready to harvest. So let's get going. First things first, gotta get this bad boy up over there, get it harvesting. You can see that sorghum coming in really well too. That'll be harvestable next month, but not quite there. Taking a look at those production chains, and they processed over the course of last month. We already got 8,000 liters of flour, so I might be getting that bakery this month as well, so we can immediately get that turned into bread. I think I can actually make it through the fire department. Okay. Ooh, look at these here wheat fields, man. Looking real nice, man. All right, we got our harvesting beginning here. You can see we're dropping some straw, so that actually does propose a little bit of a pickle here, because we are still very full on that straw. I don't know. It might be worth just looking at getting another silo or something, man. I know that sounds crazy, but might be what we have to do, you know? I think I will get this dude running. We're gonna have to drive this slightly further away, as you can hear them frogs in here. Yeah, those are some frogs. I realized I was going over to that one over there, although it wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and dump that off. Ooh, I just realized they got the heat lamps in there, man. Ooh, looking nice for my sheepies. So I'll go ahead and dump this out. We might be getting another silo, which is kind of ridiculous. Lots of expenditures, but I have all that straw coming in. I kind of forgot that oat was one of the ones that dropped that for us. So we actually did process quite a bit last month. You can see we made a solid 168,000 liters of silage there. We'll be running this on that straw there. That's something we might even want to get started, because that does tend to take a while. So maybe I'll just get this guy going on that. Now, the only real problem is that we don't have the space for all this incoming straw. All those contracts last month produced a lot more than I was expecting, so I'm considering just getting another silo, man. There's one that actually processes a little bit quicker than the other one over there, and I think long term I'll probably end up moving off of the ones at our home base there, so it would be nice to have the extra space. Could also just consider upgrading our current one, but it'll cost about the same to just put a second one, and I'm not sure how upgrading works in terms of capacity. I think it just increases the processing speed. You can see things are going swimmingly here with harvesting our oats, man. Did the first little unload there, and we are just cruising. While the boys are out there working, I actually had a slightly different task in mind for the Massey Ferguson. I think I'm going to deliver at least a couple of these bales here. I don't know how well this is going to go with transporting it. You can see I have the tractor weight on the back, so hopefully we won't be doing as many front wheelies. Try to do 2 at a time here. We'll see how this works out. I believe I have both of them. Yes, I do. Okay. Try not to take it too fast, because one of them doesn't have the pallet fork through it. It's just riding on top. Not doing any front wheelies, at least not yet. Tractor weight's doing some good work there, because usually this thing is front wheeling all over the damn place. This is actually kind of fun. It's a little balancing act. So usually I'd be front wheeling all over the place, so that weight is doing wonders in the back. Alrighty, so sheepies here. Need these bales, man. Okay, one of them just got absorbed like instantly. but I think they're full. We have another, what, 6,000 liters here. I don't know how quickly they go through it all. 63 sheepies. I'll need to figure out how many I can put out here just for it to cover a full year. I did a tiny bit of research and it looks like adult sheep eat about 50 liters of hay, at least. I don't think that translates over to grass. I think they eat a bit more grass than they do hay. So with us having 6 bales, that actually should cover near about the whole year, which is pretty cool. So maybe I'll just transport some more of these. Now, one thing I didn't think about, it might save us a month or so to, oh man, by the way, 3 at a time. I have a feeling at least one of these is gonna fall, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Oh well, 2 at a time is pretty good. Now I could just hook up the trailer here, and that might just be a better idea. Yeah, I should probably just do that. Have to offload them off, but let's just move all those bales down there. So then it's really just, once I do this, it's just collecting. Oh wait, can I even? Oh yeah, that can connect to the weight. Man, I should just have this thing on here like all the time. I totally forgot it has an attachment. Just delivering the rest of these bales. So these were left over from a contract the day before. Ooh, look at all that wool, by the way. That is looking beautiful. I'll just drop the trailer off here and get off loading. Pick them up. Can pick them up like 2 at a time or so with this bale fork. Oh, look at this. All right, this is actually where we're going to start hitting trouble, and where I'm probably just gonna want to get a new silo, and I could put it literally right next to that one. So I think he's just gonna be like stuck here, because we have no more capacity in that silo, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I'm not exactly sure what to do. I either need to upgrade this, that might be a good idea, or just get a new one. In the meantime, I'll get these guys fed. Does that go through? I highly doubt it. I'll get this moved over while I think about it. But yeah, probably either upgrading that setup or just getting a new silo. So after looking into it, I did decide to go ahead and upgrade this. It costs $110,000, which is very expensive, but it literally doubles our storage and our production speed. So it's just flat out like better than buying a second one, and requires less effort from me. So yeah, definitely doing that. I mean, look at all this space now. You're gonna end up having a lot of straw here, so it's gonna make a lot of sense to have that silo be able to handle all of it. And we're just making great work of these fields, man. I have been absolutely loving this harvester. Our setup's just been really fantastic for scaling everything up. Oh, is he trying to pour there? Oh, just missed it. Look at this. I missed a patch of grass. That's pretty funny. So we have the tiniest amount of grass growing right here in the middle of all these oats. Funny how that works out. So yeah, a little bit of a surprise expenditure there, but I think it was a pretty inevitable one to eventually be happening, so all good. Money's becoming a little more stretched than I thought it would, probably from all the kind of snap purchases that I've made this year, including these guys right here. Even with a lot of our yield going into production chains, we should still make a lot of money. We're still making quite a bit of silage, and that expenditure we just had actually increases that. Also, look at that, 2 at a time, man. Try to get 2 here as well. Ooh. Just barely. I mean, you can see the fork kind of sticking through that. I have no idea how I would be holding that one on the left. It looks pretty funny though. So this should actually cover them for like the entire year. And while we have the trailer over here, I might as well grab these pallets and load them up as well and just put them in the storage. Not sure if I'm going to produce them this year. It might just be selling them this year. We'll see. We shall see. It would be really great to get the spinnery going, but I'm not sure I have like a big enough setup right now to justify it. These are the only things obviously making any product that can go in there. And granted, 63 sheep is a lot of sheep, but still, with our money situation looking like how it's looking, maybe it's not the best idea. All right, just picked up all the full pallets of cotton while I was over here, and I'll just bring them back. We got the very uneven stack of bales, and that should feed them literally like for the rest of the year. I shouldn't have to touch that again. So that is very nice. And it looks like we're actually done with this field, so that is awesome. I'll get started on the next one right after I deliver all this goodness. Productive month. Not doing any planting this month. We're gonna get going planting next month, so that will be nice and easy. Got those dropped off there. I will drop off this trailer as well. But let's get going on our next field here. I can't remember if we've actually harvested this field yet or not. This should be a very quick and painless process. It is always fun to watch the combine go. It's been a really great combine thus far. As soon as we're done with our own fields, maybe I'll even send them out on some of these guys. I mean, 13K and 9K is just really fantastic for the amount of work required here. It really shouldn't take too long. So I could just use their equipment and maybe that would make sense, but it is nice to get the extra savings there. I mean, it's another $2,000 just for using ours. Now, granted, we end up having to repair ours and everything like that, but I think with the working width on our tools especially, it should make them go really, really fast. So I think I'll probably just end up waiting. I think it makes a lot of sense to just send it as soon as we're done with this field, because it's not going to take too long. It looks like I got a pretty interesting thing here. I think I missed a little bit of weeding or something, because I think this is literally all weeds, and that is crazy. I must have just missed a strip when I was weeding or planting or something. I'm not sure, but that is very funny to see. Yeah, I think the weeds just like fully took it over, so all the oat that we had there went away. That's funny. It's like a full strip of weeds, man. Right down the side. Full strip. Gathering up a bunch of this straw. It's really nice how much this can boost our profits by gathering this all up. I didn't know oat dropped this much, so that's really nice. And the rest will obviously be turned into flour. Actually, speaking of flour, it might just be time to get the bakery train rolling. Now, funds are definitely limited here, but you can see we already have 10,000 liters of flour going. So, I mean, we might as well get this going as well. And this is only 50,000, so it could be a whole lot worse. So, just like that, bakery purchase, man. So, this will slowly get sent over to make our bread here. Deactivate cake, because I'm just not going to be doing that one. At least not yet. This would be a fun one to do someday, but this is like a very end stage production here. I mean, all the different things, multiple other processes here, but for now it is solely bread time. And eventually we can upgrade this as well. Obviously I don't have enough money right now to do that, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to, but someday. And you know what, someday we might even be doing cake as well. It would be fun to get cows someday, and that covers the milk and the butter. But we also need to farm either sugarcane or sugar beets, both of which are a big pain. We will get there, but either way, pretty exciting to start yet another production. Oh, collectible found. 9 more cedars to be found. So that's what all those little toys are. So, I mean, hey, might as well get the $1,000 dues. Might as well, man. That's our land. I'll collect them after we buy things, if I see them. Actually, I'll probably just collect them as I see them. Let's be real here. Bunga-ga-dugga-doo, so it looks like this dude is currently heading to the grain mill in a very, very confusing direction. Also looks like we're delivering some more straw. I'm very happy we upgraded that production as well. Definitely spent a lot of money this month that I necessarily wasn't expecting to spend, but I think it's going to pay off a lot in the long term. We are using that silo a lot more than I thought we would be. A lot more straw from some of those contracts going through it. I mean, it's making a ton of silage that's really gonna pay off. We're still gonna have a really big selling season for silage this year, even though we've shifted our focus a lot. So that's gonna be really nice because we're kind of building for the long term, but at the same time not completely sacrificing our short-term profit. So we're just driving up here, man, delivering our very first oat to be made into flour. So very exciting. I'm not happy with how far away the grain mill is, and that might be something we could handle with, like, you know, a multi-fruit silo or something like that. But I think once I get a semi-truck with a bigger trailer and everything like that and an auger wagon set up, this won't be nearly as painful to drive this stuff up here. Just because it has a massive amount that it can bring up all at once, and it doesn't really halt our production at all to send a guy up here, so I'm not too worried about it. Speaking of production, you can see right here at the bakery, we've made our very first bread. We already have 95 liters of it. It's slowly chunking through that flour. So looks like we just finished up this field as well. So that is actually it for our official actual field harvests. I think we could go ahead and get started on some of these harvesting contracts. I mean, they're pretty juicy. I think I'll probably end up taking multiple of these. I should probably just get this trailer, man. I mean, look, we're making a bit of money right now. We're making a bit of money. I think I'm just gonna do it. Immediately spending my hard-earned money. What else is new? Also, let's see if this thing attaches. It does attach. The world first remembering to use header trailer on the harvester. That actually is huge. I had no idea you could do this. I cannot tell you how many harvesting contracts I've done and had the tractor go back and forth 2 times to tow this thing. It goes and takes the trailer, drops it, and then it comes back and gets the header trailer and drops it off. So this is, I had no idea you could do this, man. Okay, well, good to know. It's probably $10,000 well spent on this little trailer here. It's just gonna make getting through town not a complete task anymore. As much fun as it was, I think just doing even a single contract where I gotta go across town has changed my mind completely on it. Now, the one thing I gotta remember is to actually pick up this trailer when I'm done. That trailer actually worked out pretty well. Oh, except for maybe putting it on a hill wasn't my greatest idea. But I know Farmer Johnson is seeing me harvest right next to his house there, and he's like, oh, Lord, that boy is out there again. He's backing up my hill, trying to hook up a header on a decline. What is this boy doing? We got it. Never punished for my terrible decision making. Once again, just appreciating the animations in this game. I love the side to side dropping straw and just shooting it out there. Whatever you call the byproduct of canola, man. I don't know. You can't collect it, so I don't care. I'm calling it straw. It's all straw. Hey, if it shoots out the back, it's straw. If I can collect it, it's straw. Oh boy, that is something, brother. I was wondering why this wasn't getting offloaded. I obviously have some more harvesting in here to do. Maybe another contract or two, we shall see. If you liked the video and you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It helps a lot. And if you already are, please go ahead and like the video. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.